Hello, hello. You already know what time it is. It's Tarot Tuesday. All right. So we're going to start off looking over here in the center. Remember when we started off, we were that blue dice and the last reading was technically Neptune. Well, right now you can't see it fully, but it is Venus. Remember, if you listen to Queer Skies podcast, we were talking about how Venus is going to start coming into play. I rolled that dice just like I did in the previous reading. And here we have this dice of authenticity telling us that Venus is in play and to pay attention to our subconscious when we're analyzing those energies, okay? This card right here is telling us don't be vain. Excuse me. You better make sure that everything that you're doing is of the highest quality, not going for vanity, but more so your true authenticity. And remember, keep that temper on lock. The rune in the center here tells us everything about vision, revelation, knowledge, creativity, inspiration, technical ability, the vitality of the fires of life, harnessing the power of fire to transform and regenerate. This is the power to create your own reality, the power of light, and the power to open up new strengths, energies, and power, passion, sexual love, whatever you desire. This is the moment for you this month. Now, I don't know about you, but today is October 1st, and I feel a little bit drained, more so than normal. And it's kind of weird because I attribute it usually to cosmic weather. Another thing that's really interesting is this morning, the Masters and I in our podcast realized that we all had the day off. So not only did we all feel kind of like zen, but we also all had the day off. Coincidences don't exist. Something is happening today particularly. So if you're feeling off center, a little bit cloudy, no productivity, this is why it's happening. So the month right now, what we're going to be paying attention to, this is the energies right now that we're programming for the month, okay? The empowerment, the way to drive forward, the love energies and the subconscious energies that we have here. And then when we look at the Master card tells us it's Kathumi. I open myself to the source of all that is. So right now is a moment for us to really start focusing on, all right, what is it that we want? Who are we, and what does that mean for us? Especially with like the Maiden of Pipes here in this corner. Like it's very, the mantra for it is very specific. It says the Maiden of Pipes is extremely individualistic. Essentially, she creates her own beauty, or rather, by her energy and strength of character, she forces the impression of beauty on the beholder. She is sudden, violent, implacable, whether in anger or love, and she is all-consuming, ambitious, aspiring, and enthusiastic to the point of irrationality. An injury is never forgotten, and her only patience is the vengeful ambush. So that card is a very dualistic card. If you didn't follow what it was saying, it's basically saying that you have a good, we all have positive and negative. We all have this dualistic aspect, and it's not calling it positive and negative. We have chaos and harmony. Right now, it's really easy for you to start stepping into chaos and start destroying things, especially with like your emotions. This morning, I woke up with some irrational fear, right? And here I'm looking, okay, I'm going to pay attention to that Maiden of Pipes card that is telling me, hey, do not give into that fear, because that fear will construct something in our reality, and that's not something we are focusing on at this moment. So now that we've understood what's happening, right, as we walk into this month, what energies right now are at play, Venus, our heart, don't be too ambitious, direct any negative energy into harmonious, positive energy. I would like you to pick rather deck A, B, or C. I'm feeling between, I heard B and A for me. A is definitely standing out more, but I feel like B is also somewhat in play. I feel like maybe in my subconscious. You can pick more than two too, if you're feeling drawn to that, right? All right, so we're going to go ahead and start off with deck A. Remember, it is a time for change and evolvement. This Pluto card is also tied to the Sun card, okay? When we hold it up, it's telling us it's a time for us to change, remember. Now, when we look into this rune has to do with light. And this rune basically ends up telling us honor, justice, leadership, and authority, analysis, rationality, knowing where one's true strength lies, willingness to self-sacrifice, victory and success in any competition or legal matters. Okay, so it's basically telling you whatever's been happening, if you feel like you've been, something that hasn't been working for you, it is going to be working for you as long as you stay within the light. Because remember, this is a moment of change. We have a double light card here, the sun and then the light rune. And then we have the transformation of the Pluto positive. And let's pay attention to that, okay? That's really important. That means whatever's happening, no matter how difficult, is for our better good. So what Master is going to tell us to pay attention here? Ooh, looks like she's really running this month. In our last reading, she came out. So she's telling us, I am a warrior of consciousness. This, in order for us to overcome whatever it is that's bothering us, we must dive into our inner consciousness and overcome whatever limitation is there, because that's the only way we're going to really come out on top. So I woke up this morning kind of feeling a little bit of fear irrationally. I'm going to go ahead and spend some time working on that, which I have been working on it this morning. Okay, well, let's find out what this card is telling us. So when the Defiance card comes up upside down, pay attention to how it's another 9. Pluto is connected to 9. The Defiance card is also connected to 9. And it's basically telling us it has something to do with evolving. So when Defiance comes up upside down, it says loss due to lack of foresight. Okay, so do not be hasty right now. Okay, how about you stop? If you're spending some money, how about you stop spending some money? If you're going out of your way to really produce and not secure your own baseline, you got to make sure that you're not doing that. Okay, that's not the time right now. Why? Because this is purification energy. We are rewiring our reality right now. Okay, and this card right here is more so a warning. It's not saying that it's going to happen. It's telling you that if you continue on in the same path that you've been walking, it is going to manifest in some fashion as lack. Okay, because you're not using your foresight. So if I were to think about that in my life right now, well, I've been working a lot. I've been putting myself out there in different ways. I'm trying to shift into a new lifestyle. I got to make sure that I don't defeat myself. This morning was technically supposed to be my off day, but I'm on a schedule, and my husband was like, oh, you've been working nonstop. You should definitely chill out because you're going to burn yourself out. Which again, here are the bubble cards. The bubble cards were really telling us last month that's, what was in play, this purification energy of clearing out your emotions particularly. So here is some sort of baggage, okay, that's inside of us that's tied to fear, lack, addiction, and we have to purify those energies by diving within ourselves and being a warrior of consciousness, expressing honor and justice, truth to what it is that's blocking us, and then using the power of the sun and Pluto to transform ourselves into something that is truly called Ascension. Now, let's dive into deck B, okay? So here we have Mercury and the sun again. So Mercury has to do a lot with your mind. There's something going on with your wisdom, your mind. Pay attention to what that is, because you might be going through an ascension evolutionary consciousness stage, just like people in the first tier of the reading in deck A. This can come in all forms of wisdom. But here it's telling you that card right there is tied to the thorn, and the thorn usually is tied also to the energies of what we would consider Saturn, which is some sort of struggle, right? So when we read it right off the bat, it says a reactive force, directed force of destruction, defense, conflict, instinctual will, vital eroticism, regenerative catalyst, a tendency towards change, okay? Purging, cleansing, fire, male sexuality, fertilization, okay? So this right here is also tied to like a very strong masculine energy. We might be going into a stage here where we're redefining how we see the world, what we're thinking about, how we really want to start living our lives and presenting ourselves to our communities, to ourselves in general. This is very much so a moment of reflection is what this is saying. So it makes a lot of sense that I would have picked these two right over here because I'm somewhere in between both resonances, okay? Personal work here is on deck A, and now we're going to see what kind of wisdom we need in deck B. We have Jwaj Cool, who says, I am in harmonious balance with all the universe. Okay, so here we have the Master Jwaj Cool. I'm going to move these over just a tad bit. I'm going to honor these right here. I always like putting them very placefully. All right, the One of Pipes. The One of Pipes is, we're seeing a lot of pipes here coming out. We have the Maiden of Pipes. We have the Nine of Pipes. We're now having the One of Pipes. So this is very important for us to pay attention to because the Ace of Pipe embodies strength and introspection. It signifies the strength of completion and fulfillment. A time when life's direction has been found, the need for introspection precedes the necessity to put one's best foot forward. All right, so it's basically telling you right now we're stepping into alignment with our own universe, and we have to sit down with ourselves and say, hey, who am I? Where am I going? What am I doing? Why am I doing it? Okay, and what does this mean for me and my lifestyle? How are you going to change your lifestyle to higher embody the manifestation that you seek right now? Okay, because you are right now stepping into your own personal universe. And even though there's like this destructive quality, which is very much so in alignment with this deck over here as well, everyone seems to be going through some sort of destructive quality, self-transformation, okay? Now, let's go ahead and what kind of energy do we have here? Ooh, we have the Sweet card, which we know, let me just move this over. Which we know the Sweet card was another card that came out last month, and it was very much so in alignment with some of the things that were kind of going on in the month to help us grow. So here the Sweet card is telling us a new love, popularity, appearance, and a dependent mind. A special person that softens your heart just by being near you. Your work evaluation seems to be rising quickly if you use your cheerfulness for the best of your ability. Your love life can be kept at a stable for a while. It's good to value communication with a friend, but watch out because you tend to sometimes depend on others' communication and advice too much instead of your own. Okay. Ooh, crazy how everything starts aligning itself. Okay. We're really in this really good space. So it makes sense how consciously I was told to go in here. Subconsciously, I'm feeling more here. This is deck C for all of you who are picking this deck. We have a descending node. This means that if you have to be careful more than anyone because you right now are actually descending in some fashion. So when we start doing descension, we have to really force ourselves to look at why it is that's happening and what's really in play here. Now, just because you're descending doesn't mean we don't have a clue. Underneath the descension node, we see the moon. So you have to spend some time diving into your subconscious so you can go ahead and pull out whatever that is that's working against you. But you have success on your side, which is really, really amazing because even though you're going in a downward spiral right now in some sense, whether you're aware of it or not, you have the ability and you have the guidance of the universe around you trying to help you get out of that. And you can get out of it if you just put your attention to doing so. And here we have Jesus Christ. I open my heart to unity. Ooh, so another master that came out last week in our reading, okay? So it's very interesting, you know, like this is how I like to do. I love to do readings like this on the regular, just because they really kind of give you a bigger perspective as to what's going on with us. And you can see how the energies just carry on throughout the month or throughout the weeks. Nothing is ever lost. Oh, it's telling us that you are still stuck in a pattern. This card literally has come up several weeks in a row, okay? The Warrior Shields, which is telling us that you are stuck in some sort of pattern that needs to be broken. It's not cute, okay? September was the month to start getting out of that negative energy, and you haven't been getting yourself out of that, and that's why you're in a descending node. So you need to open your, what is it that Jesus is telling us? You need to open your heart to unity. You need to kind of like open yourself up, become a little bit more vulnerable. Particularly, usually people who are consistently drawing this card right here, is you have something in your inner child that needs to be let loose, needs to be healed, needs to be resolved, needs to be cut out. Something in your inner child is causing a perpetual pattern. I used to date someone for a couple of years who always in my tarot was represented by this card. After a long time of dating them, I ended up realizing, hey, weird. Their inner child is really, really damaged. And their inner child is always creating these subconscious patterns that are not working for them. That's why our relationship ended. And I ended up later writing a meme about your perception of reality aligns you with people experiencing that same exact perception. It allowed me to start looking at myself and saying, what is it inside of my inner child that aligned me with someone whose inner child is so broken? And you need to do, that's the exact same place. Get rid of that and you will be successful for sure. The energy that is here is the wave. So, oops. The wave is usually tied to some sort of magic, and it's a flexible attitude will bring good fortune. So here we have two very powerful keys right here telling us, hey, you know, you can make it out of this. You just have to go inside of yourself and break that pattern. Open your heart to unity and you'll stop descending. That's important. Everything else that you've been working on up till now does not matter, okay? Especially because the wave tells us you have your ups and downs, but ultimately you'll be able to step forward. If you are looking for an advisor to help fix a soured interpersonal relationship, turn to the magnanimous ocean. Someone may make an unexpected love confession. In this situation, even if you don't like the person, don't reject them, okay? So it's almost like, you know, just surf the wave, work on yourself. Whether someone unexpected really does come up and show you love, or you end up finding that you had this unexpected love for yourself, you need to be open with whatever possibility is going on. Break this pattern, because I'm telling you right now, if you're descending already, there's something here that needs to be fixed, okay? And if you don't have this fixed by, I would say, next week, the rest of your manifestations are really going to start falling apart, okay? So we really want to just pay attention to that. So here are the top energies that are going to be running the rest of the month. What master is talking to us right now? Hina, okay? I am timeless motion. So time is an illusion. Time is something that we can use to work within a certain reality, like a fractal reality is what it's called, like a piece of reality. You really want to make sure that you're just going with it. Don't get stuck in a pattern, because time can be our worst enemy. Time ages us. Time defines whether or not we're alive or we're dead. You don't want to be doing that, okay? You really want to just keep moving. Think of it as an ocean. Spend your time doing things that you love. One project at a time will get you further than not doing anything at all and spending a lot of time just thinking about it, okay? Think about how I just used that word time in a bunch of different ways, and the word time changes its influence based off of how you are allowing it to influence you. If you're an alchemy student, you know what I'm talking about. Here we have 2. The number 2 is telling us to stay positive, okay? You gotta stay positive. In particular, you need to have the strength to walk alone and find your own inner power. Sometimes we really depend on people to bring out our inner power in some sense, to give us a validation of some sense so that we know that we're on the right track. Sometimes we need to consult our significant other before we make a significant shift in our own personal lives. You know, sometimes we become codependent. We need to find our personal power now, okay? The moon that is coming up is the harvest moon. Okay, the hunter's moon. We're just stepping out of the harvest moon. You need to find your personal power for the hunter's moon so you can be the ultimate bounty man when the end of that season is coming through. We just started a new moon not too long ago either. Just a few days ago, I believe. Yeah, like yesterday, I believe. Right now we're stepping into that. We're stepping into it. We're almost going to get to that hunter's moon. This is a moment where you got to put in all your work, girl. That's exactly what it is. I ended up, when you're going to end up seeing my manifestation posts here on Patreon, I ended up getting an opportunity that is an absolute blessing, and I am going to take advantage of it this coming month, so I can make sure that I align myself with what I want to reap in the coming months. We all have success at hand, okay? So if you read any of these, especially that third one, okay? If you're stuck in a pattern, you have success, all waiting for you, okay? And then we have this understanding of, hey, more success is guiding the whole entire month. You just got to show some personal love. Especially if we're looking at this first week, the blue dice is telling us that we need to look subconsciously within our self-love. Okay, so if you're one of those people that has a pattern that's going on, here's a subconscious link, the moon underneath. Hey, all right, this is where you need to start looking at, okay? You need to start looking at the fact that, hey, it's pointing out Venus. There's something you don't love about yourself. And even Jesus says, open my heart to unity. There's something inside of your heart that's not working for you, that's limiting your success. So focus on that, okay? If we're working here on the B side, well, we need to focus on showing ourselves a little bit more love for sure, opening up our minds and redefining our reality in general while this moon energy is affecting us. These 2 decks over here are more sun-oriented, more power-oriented than subconscious self-reflection, okay? But we're still all being told to do some sort of self-reflection so that we can move ourselves forward. These 2 sides of the decks have to be more proactive because not only are we dealing with rewriting something in our internal consciousness, we're also dealing with manifesting that outwardly into our universe. We're usually focused on becoming the best that we are, and right now is that moment where we're basically being dual. We're not being polaric. People over here are being dual because we have the sun and the moon affecting us, okay? And over here, these people are still being polaric, okay? This deck over here. So these people have to step out of polarity into duality. We are already in duality. We just have to start kind of refining our energy within duality, okay? Now, what is the main energy for this week? Ooh, another one, another create card, especially for all of you in deck C, because here's another one of those cards that's telling us abundant passion and blooming passion. When you express your thoughts and emotions, you feel at ease. You will experience increased creativity in the fields of art and music. Inspiration and wonderful ideas will come as a result of focusing on these 2 fields. Don't allow yourself to be restricted by traditional concepts of rules. Follow your intuition and act accordingly. The possibility of unexpected discoveries or encounters will be high. Ooh, whoa. So let me tell you something. Usually when people come to me for a reading and I do something like this, this is basically telling us that this energy, the energies behind this reading are for everyone in this temple. Some of us are falling behind, but we can get out of there. We have so many signs here. Like those of you in Deck C have now 4 signs saying that you can get out of this. So don't you dare beat yourself up about whatever. If you picked out that same card, that's where you're at, stop pouting, get it done, because we all know that you can get it done. Everyone in your community knows you can get it done. Get it done. We believe in you. If you're in these other 2 tiers, well, reflect on yourself or work on something else. But we still have it going on. We can still be successful, even though it seems a little bit scary, okay? So we have 3 extra dice that I'm going to roll live, okay? For our root chakra, we must pay attention to the Neptune energy, which is another sun energy, okay? Neptune is the energy that's running the month, that's affecting our root chakra, okay? So you might be subconsciously feeling things that don't make sense to you. Why do you feel that way? You know, why are you empowering that emotion in general? Don't give it that power. Here for the solar plexus. Ooh, another love and moon energy. Here, this is going to be on our mind, affecting our mind right now. So pay attention to that, okay? The effects of Venus and the subconscious are going to be on our mind. You might be thinking about, why is it that I don't have a partner that fully understands me? Maybe you don't have a partner at all and you're going to be like, hey, when am I ever going to find my partner? Don't worry about that. Manifest the love that you desire into your reality with energy, okay? Energy speaks louder than thoughts and words. For our heart chakra, we have the moon energy, and the only variable, the moon energy, okay? So there is no variable that aligns with it correctly. So this week is going to be very subconscious, okay? So we have a lot of moon energies that are running the main month, and we know we have Venus and Neptune still running from that forecast that we heard from Queer Skies and from last month. So you guys know what's up. We have homework to do. This is not a time for you to dollygag, and you're going to notice that because this is a moment for us to work on ourselves, and we're all essentially ascending, okay? And we're being tested to stop doing descending patterns to once again ascend. The Matrix is going to try to keep you from doing this. The Matrix is going to keep you really busy. It's going to try to make it seem like, hey, you can't, you don't have time to meditate. You don't have time to really think about what you're manifesting. You don't have time for magic. You don't have time for anything else. You don't have time for Patreon right now. You don't have time for this. It's whether or not you're going to let the Matrix push you around to define where next week's reading is. We're playing a game right now, if you haven't caught on. All right, we see how the game has an algorithm, and those algorithms keep manifesting in our cards and in even other researchers' findings, okay? There's no reason why you shouldn't know how to beat this game, because you have a direct influencing guidance that is telling you how to overcome this game, what to look for, okay? If next week any one of these decks that we resonate with is not in our highest resonating interest, then we are not truly paying attention to our ascension. This is a test. This is like essentially a pop quiz for all of us. And it's interesting to see what's going to happen. Okay? If you picked more than one deck, combine the information. Know what you're doing. It gives you a little bit more leeway of understanding. This is Ascended Master Antojai. I'm sending you so much love.